it's Allison Merritt, and today on Thinking Outside the Box, I am going to show you how I created these faux dichroic pendants. They are just really sparkly and full of all different colors. This one kind of reminds me of moonstone or opal. And I would have to say that the teal, blue, and purplish ones are probably my favorite. But I do think that they're all pretty. And I'm not sure if the camera is picking up on this one, but you can actually see a bit of green and blue in with that pink. I'll show this one more time. This one is mostly greenish. These are super simple to make, and this is actually a UV resin project. This does not have anything to do with polymer clay. So what I'm going to show you first are the supplies that you need to create these. And you can use a bale of your choice. And this is a really pretty one that I found on 8 Seasons, and I will leave a link in the description to exactly where you can get that. And if you see, there are little areas here that you can add very small crystals. But if you don't have crystals, and I can't find mine in the move to the studio, I know they're somewhere, but I could not locate them. I actually created my own little shinies in these areas, and I'll show you how I did that. So you're going to need these, and you are going to need some no wipe UV gel polish, a pair of scissors. Let me zoom out here. You are going to need some of this cello sheet, or they're called nail sheets, mylar, cello sheets. I will have they're transparent and they have color to them. And it came in a pack like this, and I will show you exactly where I got that from. They call this a shell sheet. And it does kind of have, like, you know, colors of a shell in it. So I'll show you where I got those. You are going to need some markers. You can use permanent markers, you can use black paint, other colored paints. I really like these because these dry quickly. They are oil-based, permanent, quick-drying markers from Arteza. They're paint markers. And I will have a link to these as well as a coupon for these. These are very nice. I love the set. And you get lots of colors. You get 20 markers. And that's pretty much every color that you need. You get 2 silvers and 2 golds, which is awesome. And I'll show you what I use those for in this project. You're going to need some UV resin. In this project, I'm going to be using the Lamino, and this is a very fast curing UV resin. So for this project, I want to be quick, and that's what we're going to use. You're also going to need some glitter. And this is a pack from Arteza with pretty much every single glitter you will ever need. I will have a link to that in the description along with a coupon for that as well. These are very inexpensive, and this is more glitter than you'll probably use in your lifetime. So you wouldn't really need to buy any other glitters. These are super fine. They work great with resins and they work awesome with polymer clay. They can go in the oven, they don't melt. They have the neon colors that shine under the black light. There's glow in the dark. There's there's silver, there's gold, there's copper, there's bronze, there's holographic. I mean, it's just an awesome, awesome set. And in this particular project, I used the holographic silver from that pack. So that, I believe, is all that we need for this project. So I'm going to go ahead and set up and I'll be back. Okay, the first thing that you're going to want to do is get one of your bezels out. And you can, like I said, you can use anything that you have on hand, but I will have a link for these. Now I'll tell you, I only used this cello sheet or mylar or whatever you want to call it. I only used this for all 4 of these, and what changed the colors was the background. What I used on the back of this. On this one, let me get my markers out. On this one, I used the pink. This one, I used the black. On this one, I used the white marker. And on this one, I used the purple marker. So whatever you use as your backing color is going to affect how this cello plastic projects its color, is dichroic look color. So for this project, I'm going to show you how I made, excuse me, the black one. But just know that if you want to make the pink one, you'll grab a pink marker. If you want to make the whitish one, you're going to want to grab the white marker. And if you want to make one that looks like this, you're going to want the purple marker. So I'm not going to make all 4 of them again. I'm just going to make one. And from there, you'll be able to make any of these. And you can even experiment with other colors. I mean, go ahead and put silver behind it or gold. That would be really cool. I probably should have done one of those. Red, any of the colors that are in here, you know, just try it and see what it looks like. Use your imagination. I really like the darker though, because it really brings out the blues and greens and teals that are in that paper or plastic. So the first thing I'm going to do is I need to shake up my marker. And you want to tap it on a paper to get it flowing, or you could tap it in here too. And it actually put a bunch of it in there. But that's fine, because we're going to let that dry. So, see how simple that was? Now, you could use black acrylic paint, you could use black nail polish, or depending on what color you're going to use, whatever color you want in the back, you could paint it in there. You could use a gel nail polish, you could use regular nail polish, you could use these markers, you could try permanent markers. Any of that will give you basically the same outcome. I forgot, you're also going to need toothpicks. So I went and grabbed my toothpicks, and I just want to pop this bubble that's in there. All right, so we're gonna let that dry. It is a quick drying paint. However, for the sake of time, and since no one likes to sit here and watch paint dry, I'm going to go ahead and shut the camera off while it dries, and I'll be back. All right, now what we need to do is, this is just about dry. It took a little longer because I accidentally dumped a bunch in there. So it took a little longer than usual, but it's just about dry. So while we're waiting that to finish, I'm going to show you how I go ahead and cut that out to put inside of here. And what you want to do is just lay your, this isn't completely accurate and that's fine. What I do is I lay it in there and I just kind of push around the edges with my fingernail to kind of give me an outline on the plastic of where I need to cut. And it's not completely accurate, as you can see, but when you have it in front of you, you'll understand and you'll be able to see where you need to cut. And I cut just a little bit outside, outside of that. And I've got wind flowing through the studio because it's a gorgeous day today and I have all the windows open. So things are flying around and I've got birds chirping in the background and it's just awesome. So rather than have air conditioning running, it's always so much nicer to have fresh air. And I love hearing the birds. All right, so you cut around best as you can. And then you can go ahead and take your piece and see how accurate you were. And wow, that was pretty good. So the next step is I'm going to crumple this up. And you can crumple it up as little as you want or as much as you want. And I usually crumple twice. And I have found that that is pretty good. So go ahead and pull that back out and I'm gonna crumple one more time. And it sounds like there's an airplane out there somewhere. A little one. We have a small airport near us and people with private planes go in and out of there. All right, so now you have your piece of cello in approximately the shape that you need and it's crumpled. And I've noticed with this particular paper, there's really no right side or wrong, not paper. I keep calling it paper, it's plastic. There really is no right side or wrong side. So you just look at the side that you think is the prettiest. And I like that one. I see a lot of teal and blue in there. So your next step is you're going to take your UV nail polish and make sure you use the no wipe. The non-no wipe will leave like an oily residue on there and then you've got to wipe that off with alcohol and you don't want to be bothered with that. So it doesn't have to be the Born Pretty, that's just what I have on hand. Any clear, no wipe top coat will work. So shake that up good. And then you're gonna go ahead and put this in here. And I like to just push it up to the edges. Add a little more. So I wanna get all the edges coated and the back coated. Such a gorgeous day out today. I wish that Florida stayed cool like this all year round. It gets deathly hot here and horribly humid. And I don't think I'll be able to have my windows open in the summer. But this time of year I love because you can have your windows open. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and place that on top. And this is where I like to grab a toothpick to kind of move it around and position it exactly where I want it. You want to try not to have any edges that are sticking up because that will affect your final resin layer. And you don't want to completely push the piece down because you want some dimension to it. So I just kind of Just making sure that my edges are not sticking past the raised bezel on here. And if you've got anything on top, you can just wipe it off if you get it on the metal part there. All right, that looks good. So my next step is to go ahead and put this under a UV light. And because this is transparent, that UV resin underneath is going to get cured. So what I like to do is put this under the UV light for 3 to 4 minutes, and I'll be back. All right, this is completely cured, and we're ready to put on the UV resin. So I've transferred this to a tile. My resin station is across the room, so I need to carry it over there when I'm done, and I want to keep it level. So I put it on a tile. Go ahead and get your resin out. And what we're going to do here is we are going to dome this. So squeeze your resin on there. And then we're going to take a toothpick and move that around. Gotta grab my lighter that I forgot over at my resin station. So we want to move this resin around and make sure that it has gotten to the edges. And it looks like it has. And then what I like to do is take a lighter and run the lighter over the top to get rid of any bubbles that may have gotten on there. And then the next step is to put it into the UV light, and I like to keep it under there for about 5 minutes to make sure that it's fully cured. When it's fully cured, I'll be back. Our piece is out of the UV lamp, and look at that. Oh man, that is just gorgeous. I see blue and green, even a little bit of purple and turquoise. So pretty, so sparkly. And it has a nice dome. All right, so the last step, we are gonna add our fake little crystals. Now you could put real crystals in there and that would be simply gorgeous, but I'm gonna show you that if you don't have real crystals, you can think outside the box and make your own version. And I'm going to take my Arteza holographic glitter, and oh my, look at that. Scrumptious. And I'm gonna pour a little bit into this little silicone bowl that I have. These little bowls are awesome. They're from TKB Trading, and I'll have a link to those also in the description on where you can get those. So I just tap a little bit of glitter in there. And I'm gonna add a little bit of resin. And I'm just gonna mix that around. So you want it fairly thick. You don't wanna add too much resin because it'll water it down. And look at that. This is a cat-free zone, except for Pumpkin occasionally, but I still have a cat hair in there from the house. I guess hairs will never be unavoidable. All right, so that's mixed up good. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit on the tip of the toothpick and you're going to dab that into those little areas that you would put a crystal. And you just do that all the way around. And this is just going to give it that extra little sparkle and look like you've added little gems, even when you haven't. You've made your own little gems with glitter. Oop. And clean that up real quick. And last one. Now I'm going to go ahead and carefully pick this up and put it under my UV lamp. And it's, I would leave it in for a couple minutes since this is a quick drying or quick curing resin. And I'll be back. And we're all done. We have our little faux crystals and our faux dichroic pendant. And it's got lots of shine and lots of glittery goodness to it. You can also experiment with this. Take your own spin on it. Add some glitter to the inside. See what that does. Maybe put it below your cello or above your cello or however you want to do it. This is just an idea to give you inspiration. And like I said, I will post every supply that I used in this tutorial in the description below this video. You'll have links to everything. If you want to go ahead and purchase them, so be it. I hope that you found this tutorial fun and useful, and I just love bringing you free tutorials every week. I think we will go ahead and have a contest with this one also. We're going to have a giveaway, and the giveaway will be one person's choice of any of these four. This one is just like this one here. So you will get to choose which pendant you want, and I will go ahead and send it to you. We'll go ahead and have that 2 weeks from today, and the winner will be randomly chosen and announced on my Facebook page. And you can find the link to my Facebook page in the description of this video. Dreamweaver Designs Jewelry on Facebook. So that's it for now. Thank you for joining me and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye.